everyone. So I am back again with another spirited vessel. His vessel's name is Noah. So the doll is Noah. And because I don't know um, the spirits' names until I do investigations, and even then sometimes they don't want to give up their name. And so it's easier for me to give their vessel a name and then address them by their vessel name until they choose to give me their name. If they ever do. And if they don't, that's okay. Um, they know who I'm talking to when I address them by their vessel name. So the vessel's name is Noah. And this vessel in particular is a little baby doll. But the thing about this doll here is that you can see how his arms are both up, and he has a little knit cap on. Oftentimes, the vessel, I can't say oftentimes, he doesn't move as much as Ashton does, but occasionally this vessel will move. Not as much as Ashton does, because Ashton is already in a different position than when I put him back on the shelf. He's already moved twice. And he doesn't move from his location, he just moves the position of his vessel. So that way it's always kind of looking at you. This vessel right here moves its arms up and down. The cap will get pulled over the face, things like that. And so I'm kind of hoping that the spirit attached to this vessel is able to use the tools as freely as it's able to manipulate its vessel. Usually when you have activity with a vessel where they can actually move the vessel in the real world, in the living world, it's usually an indication that they're strong enough and they know how to manipulate the energy to manipulate things in the living world. And so I have all of the tools out that I typically have, and so I'm just going to go over them with Noah, so that way Noah knows what I have and knows how to use them. So Noah, in front of you right here we have a EMF detector, and what that does is if you get close to it, you touch it, any of those things, the lights will begin to light up on the EMF detector. So it detects electromagnetic field. So when you get close to it, the lights will begin to light up because it detects that you are close to it. Same thing with these kind of things. If you were to bring an EMF detector near a high electricity source, such as a television, an air conditioning unit, a refrigerator, anything that puts out a lot of electricity, this thing would go off because it detects electromagnetic fields. And so you have that to play around with, Noah, if you want. We have 2 blinky balls, one on each side of you. So there's a blinky ball to your left, there's a blinky ball to your right, and if you touch them, they will begin to blink and go off. On the left side of your vessel, there is a round white disc. That is a motion sensor light, and if you move next to it, it will detect your movement and it will go off. Also, to the upper left side of your vessel, we have a flashlight. And this flashlight, if you turn the tip of it, it will turn on, and then you turn it in the opposite direction, it will turn off. On the upper right side of you, we have an EVP recorder. And when I ask you questions before I use the spirit box, when I ask you questions, if you can speak directly into the EVP recorder, that way when I play it back and listen to it, anything that you have said into the EVP recorder, I will be able to pick up, most likely. And then I have my spirit box, which I will use later, It basically scans through radio stations at a high speed, and it creates a white noise effect. And you can use that to say things through it. That way I can hear it. Now, I know I explained it in the last video, but I will explain again. There are a lot of times I don't pick up what is being said through the spirit box in real time for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's so loud and it scans so quickly, and that sometimes there's so much that sounds like it's being said, and I know that this is because it kind of scans through radio stations. So sometimes something will come through and it just seems like a whole lot of noise, and it's very disorienting in the fact that it's hard to focus and it's hard to listen because it's just so much. But also, I am a little hard of hearing in my right ear, and so it's harder for me to pick up what's being said, considering that the radio in which I play the spirit box through for the speakers is to my right side. And I know that it's loud, but sometimes it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm partially hard of hearing, so anything sounds muffled and jumbled in that ear anyway. And then I have my thermal imaging camera. And right now it's very hot in this room, but I can't put my air conditioner on because the air conditioner interferes with the EVP recorder, and it just creates a very loud background sound where I wouldn't be able to hear anything even if it was being said into the EVP recorder, because it just picks up and magnifies the air conditioning sound. So with that being said, Noah, we are going to get started. Now, if you can show me that you're here by using any of the tools that are on the table with you. Watch him be completely non-active. And I say that because sometimes that does happen. Sometimes that does happen where you have completely active vessels that will let you know constantly that, you know, they're trying to get your attention. And then when you have a camera on them or you're asking them questions, they're like, no, I'm not putting on a show. So we're going to see how it goes. We are going to see. And I have my questions and my clipboard that I like to write all my stuff down on, take notes and stuff like that. Okay, Noah, so if you can speak directly into the EVP recorder. Matter of fact, I'm just going to turn it this way. That way it's not facing towards me. So if you can speak into the little red light, when I play it back, I'll be able to hear you. Can you please tell me what your name is? How old are you? Where are you from? Are you a child or an adult? Are you a man or a woman? Did you have a nickname that you liked when you were alive? If you did, can you tell me what it is? What year did you die? Did you have any passions or hobbies when you were alive that you loved? Do you interact with the other spirits here? Is there anything you would like to say to me? Well, I can hear my cats destroying the dining room. So there's that. Okay, Noah, I'm going to take out the thermal imaging camera. And I'm just going to scan the area. I see something. And I don't know what it is. Is my cat over there? Or is what am I seeing? This is not my cat. Okay. I am going to try to show you what I'm seeing. I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing because I have it turned towards. I'll take a picture. And there's even like, okay, so as far as the EVP recorder, that lights up a little bit on the thermal camera. But then when I move it over here, Noah, can you turn on any of the lights? Could you please? You can turn on the circular white disc just by standing next to it. The blinky balls, you can touch them, they'll blink. The flashlight turns on and off. But if you can do like any of those, I'm just taking a couple of pictures because I definitely see something. It's hot in this room. Let me just see if this is setting off anything here. No, that's not giving off a reading at all. I don't know what I'm seeing, but okay. I'm going to shut this off for now. Seems like Noah's pretty quiet tonight. And that's okay. I think that some spirits, it may feel like you're asking them to perform tricks. And, you know, that is certainly not the case. And I know that, you know, but I think that sometimes it may feel like that. Like, can you do this? Can you turn that on? Can you twist this? Can you walk by that? Can you touch that? I'm sure that feels like, you know, like me asking spirit to do tricks. And that's not what I'm trying to do here. It is for confirmation that they're here, you know, that to communicate and to open a line of communication with them, because they can use these tools to communicate with me. And even though I express that and say, well, this is why I have this and this is why I have that, some spirits just don't want to, quote unquote, perform. And I understand that completely. I will still use the spirit box. And this will actually, you know, go to prove a very valuable lesson that paranormal activity does not look like what Hollywood makes it look like. Okay? Spirits do not, you know, are not these, like, you know, all-powerful beings that can do all of these things. Not to say that they can't, like they don't have the ability to do so, but it just goes to show you that a lot of activity that you see when you do, or when you interact with spirit in reality, that's very subtle. You can have moments where it's like, wow, that was a lot. That was really cool, you know? But for the most part, spirit activity is pretty subtle. And, you know, sometimes you have spirits that want to interact with you, but don't want to, you know, pull out all the bells and whistles just so you can, you know, see them. This one, Noah, usually has no problem moving his vessel and you know, putting his arm down. Like, I'll leave the room and I'll come back and one arm is up, one arm's down. Or I'll leave the room and I'll come back and the cap is pulled over his eyes. You know, he does things to catch my attention. And so I'm a little surprised that he isn't taking this opportunity to interact with these tools, but that's okay. Because as I said, this will actually show that it doesn't really matter how active the spirit is. They're going to have moments where they're like, no, I don't want to do that. And it's a perfect opportunity to show people that when they say they don't want to do that by not being active, that, okay, like I understand, I'm not going to ask you to do those things anymore. If you want to do them, you can, but I won't ask you to touch the ball or to, light up the light or the flashlight or whatever. I won't ask Noah to do any of those things for the rest of this video. And if he chooses to do so, that will be on his own free will. Because free will is not only for the living, free will is also for the spirit realm as well. They have free will. They can do whatever they please. And, anybody who has spirited vessels, we may have brought these vessels into our home, but we in no way are in control of the spirit that is attached to them. They have their own free will. They were once living. Now they are past, but it doesn't mean that they deserve any less respect or respecting boundaries than when they were alive. So what I will do is I will turn on the spirit box, and we can try to communicate that way. And if the spirit attached to Noah does not want to communicate, I will cut this short and we will call it a night. And I will still post this video because I think it's an important for people to see that not all the time is spirit going to be jumping out at the opportunity to be like, hey, I'm going to do all of these wild things, and you're going to see all of these lights, and I'm going to make this go off and that go off. Sometimes they just don't want to, and that's okay. So I'm going to turn the spirit box on Noah, and as I explained earlier, it's going to scan through radio stations. It's going to create white noise, and you can talk through it if you want to. I will ask the same questions again, and you can choose to answer or you can choose not to. Either way, that's fine. So let me just turn it on. Okay, so Noah. As you can see, it's noisy and it's loud. Really? It's noisy and it's loud. So I'm going to ask you the same questions. Can you please tell me what your name is? No? How old are you? Where are you from? Are you a child? Adult? Are you an adult? Are you a woman? Do you have a nickname you like to go by? What year did you die? Just so you know, the year that we are in now is 2023. Do you have any hobbies you enjoyed when you were alive? Do you interact with the other spirits here? Do you like the cats? Can the cats see you? Who's your favorite cat here? Could have sworn I just heard birds come through the spirit box. So Noah, my name is Nicole. Can you say my name back? Is there anything you'd like to say to me? So is there anything you'd like to say before I shut this off? Alright, we'll shut that off. I mean, just by the very first spirit box response. Usually if I ask, can you please tell me your name? There is either no response at all, or maybe there may be, maybe sometimes they are afraid to give their name. They don't quite trust you yet. Sometimes, they just choose not to give it to you. I mean, when I asked through the spirit box, can I please have your name? The immediate response was no. So Noah just doesn't want to talk tonight. And that's okay. So I think that I'm just going to shut this down. I'm going to respect that he just does not want to interact right now, and that he's probably done with this whole process. And so therefore, I am not going to continue this any further because I don't want to push it. And, I don't want to push the spirit attached to Noah. And, I respect what they think. I respect what they feel. And I think that they're just done. And, that they don't want to be, sometimes with some spirits, they feel like they're in a circus. And this I know for sure through certain communication. This is why I asked permission. We have another spirit that we actually recorded through video because originally they gave their consent. And we always get consent. We always, try to get like verbal consent, or whether it be dowsing rods or communication through EMF or whatever. We had another spirit. And he initially gave the okay to do a video, and then he changed his mind, and he clearly shut down, and he didn't want to have any part of it. I deleted the video, I deleted the EVP, I deleted everything. And that video, obviously, because it's deleted, but it will never show up on the channel, it will never show up on social media, because I respect their wishes. And so I just want to thank Noah for putting up with me for tonight, because he clearly did not want to, do this. And, I am going to shut everything down, but I will still thank you, because you have tolerated me when you did not want to participate. So, on that note, I will wish you all a happy night, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!